We have shared the same bed.
Which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
He's sleeping in my bed.
He's sleeping in, no, I think he was in my room.
I was in your room.
I've only done this once. For those of you wondering, that's how me and Boyd met. iPhone addiction, screen addiction, entrepreneur mindset. We're always trying to figure out how to stay motivated and how to recharge so we can be at peak levels of production. And I'm always way too much on my screen. So I needed to find a way to disconnect. And I have different ways, but last night for the first time, I tried floating in a weird little bath of salt. I've only done this once, which was last night, and I'm no expert at what's going on here. So I flew in an expert, the most prominent Dutch float tank expert ever, Boyd Hoek. I don't know. Hoek.
It's Hoek. Yeah, English people always pronounce it a way different way.
Actually, I'm kidding. Boyd is living here in Bali currently. And oddly enough, you're living in my old villa, or you were, now you're not anymore.
I'm actually back because I got to a new villa, which was like, you know, the huge Bali mansion type thing. But in the end of the day, the bedroom was not fucking comfortable. And I went back to the old villa just to be able to sleep.
Yeah, so you're back in the game. We have shared the same bed.
Which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
He's sleeping in my bed.
He's sleeping in, no, I think he was in my room.
No, the owner moved back.
Wait, the owner's back.
So I was in your room. My homie Floris, he went back to Holland. Other friends of mine were in this huge villa. They were like, oh yeah, you can come live with us. I just couldn't really sleep there. So I was like, fuck this shit. So I texted the owner, David.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, and he already moved back in.
So David's living there.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, can I just, move back in?
Crash.
And he was like, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you wondering, that's how me and Boyd met. He hit me up on Instagram and he was like, yo, dude, what's going on with that old villa you're leaving? And then I think you got in contact with David. You were there for how long?
I was there for 3 months.
Now you're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
So float tank, digressing here. Now, typically for me, I spend way too much time on my phone, way too much time on my computer. I'm always fucking working. A lot of times I'm not very good at taking a break. And taking a break is very important to keep your productivity up because we obviously reach burnout. And there's different things that I've always tried to do. Predominantly, hot yoga for years, has always been my number one thing for resetting my mind. You get such a deep cleanse from sweating more than any workout you ever do. You're also stretching, something that we don't typically do enough of. Like I work out a lot and I don't stretch at the end of it, which is kind of a problem. Yoga, you kind of get a workout, sweat, which is also heat therapy, and you get a stretch. The problem is Bali doesn't necessarily offer hot yoga. Bali is supposed to be a fucking yoga spot, and I fucking hate every yoga class in this stupid city. I love Bali, but as far as yoga, so I don't do yoga. And so then obviously massages are definitely a thing in Bali. So for me, like a massage is kind of like my new yoga disconnect because I'm not on my phone and I go get a massage.
I mean, I tried the yoga thing like twice and I thought, I had the idea like, okay, we're gonna relax. We're gonna do some little light stretching.
Yeah.
It's gonna be chill. It's gonna be cool. There are gonna be some hot girls there.
It's not chill at all.
At the end of the day, that's a fucking workout. Yeah. Like that shit's heavy. I was in there fucking sweating, like doing all these weird poses, a downwards dog and whatever the fuck, and I'm like, this is not relaxing at all.
No, it's not. It's one of the hardest workouts you'll ever do. If you do like a solid advanced vinyasa flow in heat, you will sweat more than you've ever sweat in your entire life, and you'll walk out of there feeling like you just got your fucking ass kicked. So for me, obviously it's not like a relaxing thing, but it's a very cleansing thing. For one, because I don't get to use my phone in there. If I go to the gym, I'm still on my phone. I'm still fucking wired in. Like fucking DM, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, all of them. Everything is connected. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna go try to do this float thing because the reason why, I'd been looking at it for a while. I just never really thought about it. And I know at our gym here, Body Factory, they used to have like a little flyer at the front, like 10% off soulless float. And I kept thinking about it, but I just never did it. And then you posted on your Instagram story the other day. I was like, my man Boyd's over there doing the float thing. What's going on? I want to give this a shot. So before I talk about my experience, I just want to hear, or here's the website for Soulless Float. It says level up by lying down, right? He's floating in there. It kind of looks like the iRobot guy. Is that the iRobot guy? I don't know. Joe Rogan quote, I think it's one of the most incredible pieces of equipment for self-help and introspective thought you can ever find. I like Joe Rogan. He's a kind of a legend in like biohacking and mindset shit as well. So what is floating? What are the floating benefits? They say it increases immune system, boosts creativity, reduces anxiety and stress, muscle recovery, relaxing and meditative, and improves sleep quality. So why are you going to float, Boyd? The people want to know.
So basically, for me, I was at Almo and I saw one of these flyers, and that headline you just showed, it's the level up by lying down. That just caught my attention because as entrepreneurs, we all have like our routines and stuff like that, and it's very easy. I mean, at least for me, it's very easy to do things like go to the gym every day, like work all day. The things that you have to push. But, for example, one thing that I find really hard to do is meditate, or, those are the things that I struggle at, or like chill the fuck out, or like take a step back. And then I saw this, like level up by lying down. And I was like, this could be like perfect.
It's a catchy title.
It is catchy. And then someone told me, that's 90 minutes of laying in a bath of hot water, with some Epsom salt. And I was like, I mean, fuck that. But that is gonna force me to like really chill out, because I'm just so like go all the time. And yeah, I think for anyone, it's just important to fully disconnect, and then you can actually go back in harder. So that's the reason I started it.
Yeah, and it's basically why I was interested in it, because I've kind of been missing that disconnect, because I never disconnect. Like you said before, it's like go.
If we're not working, we're still like what am I gonna do tonight? Fucking answering Instagram DMs or whatever. So it's still a scattered brain that's not really relaxing. And this is like
you're still on your phone. You're still like, I can't barely even watch a TV show. I'm sitting there watching a TV show, but most of the time I'm like on my fucking phone doing something. Yeah. Because there's so many different things coming in from all directions. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's why I kind of wanted to try it, because I've also been missing that disconnect, because I do go get massages, but not like an everyday thing or anything, but still going to the gym, I'm always on my phone. One, because I also track my workouts through an app called Strong. So I'm still like on my phone the whole time, like one, tracking my workout, but also like workout Instagram, workout Spotify, workout like whatever's fucking coming in.
Honestly, if I take my phone, like my phone that has all my personal stuff and whatever on it, it's just such a less good workout and whatever. So I now also just have like a second phone that I use, on which there's not even internet on there. Like I just use it for my alarm and Spotify and whatever. And then I just never check anything on there. Yeah. So that works for me.
A pretty good idea to have like an alternate phone, just to
shitty fucking iPhone.
Don't put your shit, like, because I do that sometimes as well, or I'll turn my phone off and then put it in my backpack. I usually do like my focus work sessions, like in the morning I'll go to a cafe. I try to do this. Keyword is turn my phone off. But I notice so much difference in productivity, because unconsciously every 5 minutes I'll pick my phone up and look at it. It's just like
nuts.
a fucking,
it's nuts. And it's just that awful thing where your brain, the only thing your brain really cares about is like the dopamine, and it cares about the way of least resistance to getting there. So all your brain is thinking is like, I mean, I'm gonna either work on these damn slides, or I'm gonna just pick my phone up and check my gram, and it's gonna be cool.
No, and a lot of times, like working on a presentation for slides is fucking tedious and annoying.
Tedious as fuck.
It's not fun at all. So it's just like, what's going on in Instagram? I don't know. Fuck, what am I turning off the phone? Shit. So I did it, and I haven't even talked. You asked me what I thought about it, and I was like, we'll talk about it on the podcast, because I didn't want to spill the beans. But for me, I didn't like it.
You didn't?
No.
Tell me why.
It wasn't for me. And I actually talked to this girl today at the gym, because I told her I did it, and I told her I didn't like it. She's like, what? Why? Like, I fucking love it. And then she was like, you have to go again. You have to go like 2 to 3 times, because the first time is kind of like whatever. Like, so first of all, I have some video clips of Float, the actual place. So we'll go and look at kind of what it looks like here. Oh, this is me actually inside. So we'll do that. It's a weird sound. So like so this is the entrance to it. The Temple of Solace. So that's what it looks like from the outside. And then walking in, this is the wrong one. Sorry, guys. This is like inside. So it's a pretty cool looking place. Like it's really nice, all brand new. And there, that is the float tank. That's where you go and sit in. Which is kind of crazy when I just walked in. I was like, that's kind of creepy. Like, what is this thing? And then it hears me talking a little bit. All right, so I'm getting ready for my first float tank session. Apparently, I first take a shower up here, and then I'm gonna sit inside of this container for 90 minutes with no music until the last 10 minutes. So I don't know if I'm gonna fall asleep or what's gonna happen, but this is kind of scary. Like claustrophobic, it's gonna be pitch black. Let's see how it goes. So, it's a unique experience. Like I think it's worth trying just to see. Like I might go again. I don't know. So first of all, like she came in and she said, here's like a little neck pillow, like floaty thing. I was like, why would I need a neck pillow? Like I'm just gonna float. But like instantly, probably within like the first 2 minutes, my neck started feeling uncomfortable and cramping, like muscles in it. Cause it's weird. Like you feel like you first sit down, you're butt naked in there, first of all, and you're just like your butt's like touching the ground. But then as soon as you kind of like lean back, all of a sudden your whole body is like, props up and floats. So I was just like laying there, and I like closed the door and like turn off the light. But then like within like 5 minutes, my neck started kind of straining because I felt like it was like almost because your head is in the water and your body's in the water, but part of your neck isn't getting that flotation because it's not submerged enough or something. So I was kind of like feeling like I had to like hold my neck up. I'm like, ow. And so then I used the float pillow. First 15 minutes, I was super fidgety. Like I was just like going like this, and I was like this. And then like I kept like touching the edges, and I was like thinking to myself, I wish this tank was bigger so I didn't keep like having to push off the edge. It was hard for me to fully shut off.
Yeah, no, I had the exact same, but it's honestly also because it's your first time.
Yeah.
Like I hated it too the first time.
Yeah.
And at one point I was even thinking of just getting the fuck out and calling it a day and saying like, oh, this is just not for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also a thing that is so far from what I've just never done anything similar to it even, you know what I mean? So it's just a new thing that you gotta get used to, and you gotta, learn to like fucking relax comfortably in there and whatever. And I had the same thing, like I was fidgety and I was like, oh, and I was like bumping myself against the thing and like trying to like float myself back and forth. And even the funny thing is, if you're like touching one side and then you kind of push off, it takes about 2 seconds to get to the other side.
Yeah.
Because there's so much salt, so you just float.
Yeah.
That's why it's called floating. But dude, it's about like kind of accepting it and just, being able to relax in there. You really got to shut off, and I couldn't. You really got to. Yeah. Otherwise, it's really shit. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, maybe I just didn't go within there with that enough intention of needing to shut off. Or I'm just so not used to shutting off. Like, because usually you go to yoga, you're not fucking relaxing. You're fucking sweating your ass off and pumping. Going to a massage, you're kind of mentally, you can go to a different place, but you're also getting stimulated. Yeah, it is. And it's really about, like, that's what I was saying in the beginning, like, this floating stuff is actually about not doing something, right? It's not you gotta be relaxed, like you gotta not do anything. You gotta fucking that's really hard for shut down. Yeah, for people, and especially for like entrepreneurs, because you're so ingrained in that, okay, do shit. Yeah. And then you gotta actually not do shit, which is fucking weird. Yeah. So there was another clip that because after like maybe 15, 20 minutes, I just like sat up, completely pitch black, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to be in here anymore. Like, I'm fucking bored. Like, I'm just sitting here. So I went and got my phone, obviously. Bro, you have a serious problem. But I did it mostly just so I could film a clip of what it's like inside. So here's a clip of. So wait, let me ask. So you're butt naked in this little capsule. Yeah. And you have your phone floating next to you. Yeah.
No dinghy involved in this clip.
Alright, I'll show you guys what's going on here.
Oh, so you got out.
Yeah, so I literally got out. Went and grabbed my phone. No, I went and grabbed my phone out of the. I got out of the tank.
Inside of the tank. Here we go.
Closing it.
Now, you're fully submerged in the float tank. Okay.
So just like that, you feel like you're. This looks like a spaceship or something, right?
Yeah, I was actually one time when I was doing it, I was texting with this girl back and forth, and I was just
You're inside of the tank.
no. That'd be weird. No, I was about to go in. Like I was just texting, and I was about to go in, and then I just sent her a picture of like the thing with the door open.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "It's a time machine. Like, can't you tell?" Like,
Yeah.
She's like, "No, seriously, what is it?" Like, it looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
And it is.
This is quite the unique experience. I'll tell you that. So, I've been in here for like 40 minutes. And I'm just like kind of like floating around having fun because I got bored. I don't know what to think about this whole thing. But it's kind of weird because you literally just, as soon as you lean back, you just all of a sudden elevate and start floating. You also have this head top, so you can go like this and support your neck, because oddly enough, sometimes my neck is straining in here. But yeah, it's I don't know what to think.
Do you have like earplugs or something?
Yeah. So they give you these little clay earplugs that you actually mold into your ear because your ears are underwater the whole time.
That's what I was wondering because you said the pillow.
Yeah. So you're
I would be annoyed.
you're definitely plugged up. And also, I was talking to another friend of mine right before I went in, that I was also at the gym, and he went in, and he said he didn't like it because he felt a little claustrophobic as far as oxygen, breathing wise. But there's basically 2 holes inside of it that have little oxygen. So that hole right there, that's pushing out fresh air. So I literally put my nose up to it. It's like cool, has almost like has a scent to it. That I was like, give me more of that, like pump more of that shit in here. And then there's another one over on the left side that's actually sucking air in from the tank. So it's like a flow. And another thing that was very interesting was it's completely fucking dark in there.
Yeah.
You close your eyes and you open your eyes, you can't, there's no difference.
No.
It's just 100% black. Yeah. And that's not something I've ever really experienced before, where usually any sort of situation, you close your eyes, you open them, you kind of see like faint things. Yeah. But this, you're done.
You ain't see shit.
You shut off. Like, so I filmed this right here of me turning it on and off. And it just goes black. You can't see nothing. Yeah. And it's just, so I don't know. Like I said, I got out of it early. First of all, I got out of it like 30, 40 minutes in, get my phone. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't like this. This is weird. Then I recorded that. Then I jumped back in, and then I was just sitting there waiting because she said that the only music comes on when there's 10 minutes left, and I never got to that point. I got out before.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you have those 3 buttons on the side. You have the light button, which is one.
I saw the other 3 buttons on the other side.
And so the middle one is you can actually press it and you get music.
What?
As I told you before.
She didn't tell me that. I was like, is there music? She's like, no.
I mean, they're Balinese. They forget things.
Yeah.
That, like, you can actually play the music.
Yeah.
And it's this, beta wave or whatever type stuff. And that actually gets you like super relaxed. I've done it like with and without music.
If I had music, I think it would have been a much better introduction experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's much easier to like not get bored, and just it's much easier to actually relax and chill out once you're laying there if you have that music. And yeah, that kind of gets you in that state where have you ever heard about this thing where people, they go to bed and then they keep their body completely still but they keep they stay awake. And then it's where your body kind of goes into a sleep state, but you can actually, control your dreams. Have you heard about that? Yeah, so that's kind of like sort of the space that you get into, and then it's kind of like, it's kind of odd. But that's pretty cool. Like, you should try it with music sometime. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, that's a game changer, because I went in there just fucking, soon as before I'm getting in there, I'm on my phone fucking vlogging it, connected to the internet and the digital world, straight into dead silence. I've never put myself into just dead silence for 90 minutes like that. Completely disconnected. And I couldn't handle it.
This right now.
I didn't know how to do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it is a bit much.
Yeah, but now I'm not super tempted to go back. I was like, okay, I'd rather go. I literally went and got a massage. I texted Norbert right after. He's like, what do you think? I was like, I'm going to get a massage, because that's what I need instead of this float shit. So I don't know. I would maybe consider going back, especially if there's music. I think that would help me relax a little bit more, because just going in, I couldn't relax necessarily. I did maybe for like 15 minutes, but after like 15 minutes, even in 15 minutes, I feel like would be a long silent meditation for some people, especially for me. But like 90 minutes, I couldn't. That was too much, especially for the beginning, for my first time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I was chatting with a girl last night about this. We were doing this ice bath at Body Factory, right? And it's pretty fucking cold, that thing.
Yeah.
And most people stay in there for like 20 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And then they can't take it and they jump out and they're screaming. And I always stay in there for like, at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And if I have time, like I'll do it longer or whatever. But the thing is that people got to understand, and I think this is similar also, this also kind of happens with the floating stuff, is that with like certain activities, you have these things, you kind of have breaking points, right? So in the ice bath, you go in there, and the first 20 seconds, 20, 30 seconds maybe, it's cold as fuck, right?
Yeah.
And most people don't realize, they think it's going to be that cold for like the whole experience, right?
Yeah.
But what it really is just, a level, and once you get past like those 30 seconds, then it actually gets easier.
Yeah.
And then at the 1 minute, at the 2 minute, you have those breaking points again for like 20 seconds, and then it gets easier.
Yeah.
And it's the same with like working. That's why I like to do this stuff, because it's like, it relates back to like your entrepreneurship. And the same is with working. Like, you're starting work, and then the first 10 minutes, you're kind of like fucking around, and you're like not really into it.
Yeah,
and then once you get in the zone, it's easy.
Yeah, it's called flow state, of just getting into a level of fucking mind flow where you can actually do it. And that's, your fucking phone is so distracting from anything where
it keeps you, it brings you at like the starting point every time you like,
yeah,
check it.
you basically
So
have to, you restart. So yeah, I like your second phone idea for the gym.
definitely do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game changer, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started it, and that was kind of like, that's a long time ago, but I used to be so addicted to my phone, like still kind of am, when I check it a lot, but I just, put it away a lot nowadays. But I remember, waking up, going to the gym first, and it was like in my entrepreneurship journey in the beginning, and I was literally, it was so fucking hard not to, even on my second phone, like go on the gym Wi-Fi, download Instagram, and still check my messages and shit. Like, it was actually so fucking hard. Like, even ashamed to admit it, that it was so hard, because, what the fuck. But it's just something that's so ingrained. So yeah, it's super key to not step away from that. Like, just once a day.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to try a float, because I'm like, I need to disconnect.
Yeah.
I don't really have like an outlet right now that I enjoy, other than going and getting a massage, of which I love getting a massage. It's like, especially after like a hard workout, you fucking just go there, nice full body, deep tissue massage. You're disconnected. I don't have my phone. They got peaceful music playing in the background.
Yeah, it's super chill.
So, but you're still getting, still stimulation, right? You're not like completely fucking just like out. Yeah. So, yeah. So float was interesting. But first impression, I'm not excited to go back and do that again.
No, what I mean, how was your first time meditating, for example?
I never really like meditate during the day or anything at all. The only time I ever I actually use like Headspace, the app, but I only do that at night when I'm trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it, like, 'cause sometimes I have trouble sleeping at night, just like shutting off, just the same similar with the thing. Thing. And so when you're doing like a guided meditation like that, that's also stimulation. at the end of the day because you're listening. It's very much different than going into a dead silence because then you're just in your head. And the reason why Headspace and all these other apps work is because it helps you get out of your head and you just start focusing on what they're saying. And you're just like, that's why the whole counting sheep thing is because like it kind of doesn't make sense if you think about it. Like, why would you count sheep?
Totally.
Because you start counting sheep to get out of your head and stop thinking about the things that are stressing you out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so at Float, I was just my mind was racing. I'm launching my new YouTube course next week. So I was just I wasn't shut off in any way, shape, or form. I was like sitting there, I was like, okay, what can we do for like email launch sequence and like fucking. I was in the fucking work zone still in my head. So it was interesting. I might have to try it again, but now I think no music was definitely not something I could do, especially for the first time. Are you listening to music in there now? If you go,
I mean, I switch it up. I've done it about like 9 times, maybe 10 even.
Yeah.
So yeah, I switch it up, but without music it's definitely harder.
Yeah.
And it's definitely more fucking boring.
Yeah, I was bored as fuck.
Yeah, that's just what it is. But I do it without music sometimes, just because that's like the full-on no stimulation kind of thing, which I kind of like too. So yeah, I kind of switch it up.
Yeah, interesting. Where can people find you on the internet world, in the Wi-Fi?
Probably,
World Wide Web.
Most of my shit is in Dutch, but Instagram, yeah, it's probably the best. It's Boyd Hoek, so you spell that BOYDHOEK.
Word. Well, pleasure having you on the Reel with Cameron Foos and Boyd Hoek, the Dutch float expert. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap for On the Reel with Cameron Foos. Curious what you guys are doing to disconnect from the World Wide Web of bullshit that is constantly stimulating our minds, distracting us, and sometimes we just gotta disconnect from shit because productivity definitely reaches a level of burnout if you don't take breaks and you don't reset and you don't recharge, and you need different ways that you can actually do that. So for me, still number one is hot yoga, of which I don't have it here in fucking Bali. So I'm still sticking with my massages at this point because it's stimulation, but relaxed stimulation.
I like the massages.
Anyways, guys, that's a wrap. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace. iPhone addiction. Screen.